Yeah, that's they're fantastic running the ball. They've got a few really good running backs. So they get them the ball in a lot of different ways. Number 5, their running back is one of the fastest guys we'll see all year. I mean, he hits the edge and he's got sprinter speed and he's fantastic. So you really have to know where he's at all times. Their running game, their offensive line is very experienced. They're physical. They do a nice job, and they've got complements in their running game and passing game off everything they do. So they're very balanced. They make you be extremely balanced and have answers on defense. They're really well coached. Well, you look at one of them, and he's a little more. They both can throw the ball very well, but one of them is obviously a lot more athletic as far as his mobility, and he's a little bit more of a runner. When it's not there, he'll tuck it away, and he'll make a lot of yards with his feet. The other one is a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, a stronger armed, more of a drop back passer. And again, they brought him in games when they've been down at the end and needed somebody to sling it around, and he's very good, really good. So they complement each other well.
Coach Wilson talked about how it sometimes takes JUCO kids a few weeks before they feel comfortable and can make an impact. Where are your JUCO kids right now? I mean, are you happy with the progress they're making, or is there still a ways to go?
Oh, we still have a ways to go. I think David Cooper has really probably made more strides than anyone. He's got a really good grasp of our defense, and he's done probably the best job of all of them. And then Jakari Alexander, he just keeps getting better every day. Probably at his best practice he's had since he's been here today. So he's just got, he's still a work in progress, as all of them are. Coop's a work in progress, and they'll keep getting better as we go, and the more experience they get, and as far as the rest of them, they're kind of in the same boat as Jakari.
Back a little bit on the question, quarterbacks a little bit. How much does this throw you off at all? You have to deal with 2 of them, I guess, if you're going to be serious this year. You can see a totally different look.
Well, you definitely know who's in the game. You know the difference between 13 and 2, and your guys are well aware of that, and their running package stays the same, but that 2 makes plays with his feet, and 13 makes them with his arm. So it's a little bit different maybe in what you're calling, coverage wise and blitz thoughts, but all in all, I mean, it's the same offense. It's the exact same offense. It's not like they completely change their offense when they have one of them in, and so you're seeing the same thing.
Not to bring back that numbers, they had 59 points last year. What was especially hard to get attention last year?
Well, I'd try and block that one out, to be honest with you, but no, they did a fantastic job schematically. What we did against them was not probably what we would have wanted to do, and just kind of so we've changed and they've changed, and so to answer your question, I think there's a lot of things we would have taken back from what we did defensively, and really, you can be in better defenses and better calls, but it boils down to you got to get off blocks and you got to make plays, and we probably didn't put ourselves in the best position last year, and we didn't make plays, so it's kind of a combination of things.
As a defensive coach, would you have preferred to be back on the field last week, or did this group kind of need a week off to regroup after such a tough one?
Football is a crazy game, and it teaches you a lot of lessons, and you pour everything you have into it, and you Coach Wilson talks about each week is a round, and last week, I mean, we put everything we had into it, and we came up short, and I'll take 99% of that credit. I mean, that's I did a poor job on that. So it burns in you as a coach, it burns in you as a player, and it should, because you invest so much into it. But the bottom line is you got to focus and refocus, and now we're on to the next round. And so yeah, it's great to be able to get back up and have a game, but that's not the way the schedule played out. And we had some time off and tried to use that time, wisely and prepare for Northwestern.